Thank you for joining us on 24 Plus. I am ABC24 anchor Pepper Baker. It's been quite an active year for the Memphis-Shelby County School District, the largest public school district in Tennessee, and everything from leadership all the way down to the day-to-day operations in the classroom. So we're going to get all caught up with two of the school board members that are joining us at the table today. That is Commissioner of District 4, Tamarques Porter, and Commissioner Sable Otey of District 5. Thank you all so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So you all had a big timely kind of event happen recently. You both were possibly up out of the whole 9 school board members. There were 5 of you that were potentially going to be on the May 5th Shelby County Primary Election ballot. But a judge ruled in your favor that you are rightfully owed your terms and you will no longer be up for election on May 5th, which was a big, lengthy process to get to that decision. So how does it feel to get the outcome you were hoping for?
Well, for me, I'm glad the judge ruled in our favor, but it was never about politics to me. It was about honoring what the voters voted, and they voted for us to have 4-year terms. We think about the voting history throughout the country, and so when I was talking to some people, my constituents about this, they were pretty frustrated, because people, they stood in the rain, it's cold outside, and well, it wasn't cold then when they voted, but stood in the rain and just they did their due diligence. And so I'm glad the law was on our side, and I'm glad the courts ruled in our favor.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. It's same. I mean, just glad that the judges honored that, the judicial process, and that we were able to just bring clarity to everything that was going on. And so just super excited about it, that we can keep doing the work and keep without this distraction.
Absolutely, yeah. And it seems like the school board has just been in the news more than any other school board I've ever had to cover. But let's get back down to why you all even decided to run for school board positions. Where does the passion come from and why?
I think everybody's looking for that aha moment, but there's not like a single aha moment for me. But I am a former educator. I taught physical education, of course. I was an athlete, so I bobsledded, but I taught PE at Lawrence Elementary and I taught at Snowden. And then I have 3 boys, 3, 6, and 9. 2 go to school in the district. The 3-year-old is not in school yet, but he will be going to pre-K soon. So I just wanted to be able to take part in their education as well. And then, of course, your teachers, former teachers, like Malika Collins, Mike Collins, just kind of took me under their wing and really just inspired me to want to be able to make a change in the educational system. So I would definitely say many factors, but those definitely of course. Yeah.
Those are all good reasons as any. What about you, Commissioner Porter?
Yeah, for me, I've always been around education. I've always been involved in the community. I actually started out teaching literacy classes at daycares. And so from that point on, worked into the school system started as a teacher assistant, and I transitioned to the technology department. But overall, holistically, I always felt I needed a way to give back to the community. Oftentimes, when I'm walking through Orange Mound, where I'm from, Orange Mound, and they say, Mr. Porter, how did you make it, or what do you do to get to a point? And I said, well, look, the only thing I have is a job. I didn't make it anywhere. But just listening to the stories, again, trying to figure out different ways to give back. And I have 2 boys in the school system as well, so just thinking about their future. And so that's ultimately what led me to run. And also to this school-to-prison pipeline. We keep hearing about that, the narratives about if the child doesn't learn how to read on grade level by the 3rd grade or something, more than likely they may end up going to jail or not graduating. So I always felt as though that in order to have that type of statistic, you got to create the environment. And so just wanted to have a seat at the table to kind of debunk some of those myths about what our children can do.
Oh yeah, that's a really good purpose there. So you all, I've been in Memphis now for 3 years, and particularly in the last maybe year and a half, the school board has had a lot of attention on it. Yep. Some good things, some not so good things. But I think people forgot what the simple role of a Shelby County School Board Commissioner is. So first, I want to get clarity. Do we call you school board members? Do we call you commissioners?
So that's a debate right now with the county commissioners. And so from my understanding, just school board members.
Okay.
And so you have a county commission, you have commissioners, but it's some of the similar functions when it comes to serving people, but I think we're school board members.
Okay, school board members.
Right.
Okay, so what is the responsibility of an MSCS school board member?
Well, create policies, set the budget, ensure that we are hiring superintendent, ensuring that they are aligning with our goals, and making sure that everything pretty much runs smoothly. I think what happens is people don't understand that we don't get into the day-to-day operations. I'm pretty sure you can elaborate more on that. We don't get into the day-to-day operations. Like, we're on the outside. We don't get below. We try not to get below the governance line. We leave that up to administration to ensure that that's done. I've had people call asking me about the air conditioner, asking me about like just other little tedious things. I'm like, guys, I'll address the issue, but that's not what school board members do. We work above the governance line, so we're more so making sure the budget is approved, making sure that policies are in place, approving those policies, updating those policies, and ensuring that the superintendent administration is doing their jobs.
Yeah, contractual work too,
Right.
all that,
Right.
all the stuff
Approving
that goes
contracts,
There
yep.
you go. Yeah. Okay, so that makes a lot more sense because I do think over the last year there's been a little bit of like, what do you all have your hands in, and maybe you all got blamed for things that may not always fall in your job title.
Right.
Okay. Now I do want to address a little bit of an elephant in the room. Shortly after you all won your elections, there was a big decision that has continued to kind of play out since in various ways, and that was voting whether or not to terminate the former MSCS superintendent. And you both voted differently in that vote. So can you tell us at all why you voted the way you did, or anything that the public doesn't quite understand about what factored into that decision?
Right. Okay. So I personally can't talk too much about it as far as we're currently pending litigation, but I know wondering minds, they want to know what's going on. And so basically how I voted is I always want to make sure that I'm doing what's in the best interest of the students. And so I felt like during that time, I evaluated the situation, I saw what was going on, I asked questions, and I just wanted to ensure that I was making the best decision. And at that time, I felt like I was making the best decision for our students.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for me, while I was campaigning, I heard a lot of great things about Dr. Marie Fagans, and so I was excited that we have a new superintendent, and I was excited to join the board with my other colleagues to try to set a new vision and new leadership while coming onto the board. And so I developed a great relationship with her as far as, she would let me know what things happening in my district. I asked for emails, I asked for certain information to get to my principals, and she was always there. And so my framing of the whole issue, and I actually held a town hall meeting as well, just to get more feedback from my constituents. And so my whole framing of the issue was, it's not so much how long a person has done the job or been in the job, it's how well they can learn the job and move it forward. So, and I take that upon myself as well. And so I was excited, and so ultimately I was in the minority of the vote. But that's one of the reasons why I voted, because it's based on things I was hearing in the district and things I was hearing in my community. People were excited. I was excited to get the work done. And so we heard the good and the bad, but it's our job to make those tough decisions as well.
Absolutely. And no one really knows everything that happens behind the scenes on things. So you all, of course, are always going to know a little bit more of the inner workings as to why it even all happened the way it did. Did you all think it would kind of transpire now into everything that's happened now based off of what happened then?
No, for me, I didn't. No, I don't think anybody predicted this.
I don't think so either.
I do think one of the great things, kind of even the earlier question you asked, it kind of woke everybody up to figure out, hey, what's going on with education. Even from people, you talked about us running. When I was out there campaigning, I said, hey, my name's Tamarques Porter, I'm running for school board. He was like, so what you gonna do about the streets? And so, so my job is to help to keep students off the streets.
Right.
But and so I think it shined a light on, say, hey, that's what's really been happening with our education, because we all know that even for us, we're dealing with issues. There's systemic issues that's been around the district for a while, and so now we've taken upon it leadership to kind of keep the ball rolling, and our former school board members have passed the torch on.
Yeah. Right.
And so we didn't, it's been a whirlwind. But in a great way, because all of it is a learning experience.
Absolutely. So you all are coming up on halfway through your first terms now.
Right.
Yep.
So just to kind of put a pin in this, what's happened in the past, do you all feel like there were misconceptions or judgments about you all's leadership based on that vote, more than what should have been judged as far as the way you are able to be a school board member?
I would say some of the decisions of governance can be seen more through a political lens. So I can't say, it was kind of based off of that. People's views could be that way as such. But the fact still remain is that we just keep student academics and achievement first. All my principals can tell you that, throughout any turmoil or anything that's going on, I'm always having my foot on the gas. I'm always there. Anything they need, I'm always visible. We just had a Saturday school this Saturday, just trying to catch up on TCAP. So we have principals that are putting in the work. Cordova Elementary principal stopped in, so I'm always there. You know, I told them next time I'll try to bring them some lunch. We're putting in that extra work to ensure that our students are catching up and making sure that they're scoring well and they're proficient. So, I mean, just keep doing the work, you know, and, you know.
That'll
just
speak for itself.
Exactly.
Got you, okay.
Yeah, and for me, you know, part of the misconception is we don't make decisions out of chaos or based off of people's personality or something, but we do take everything into consideration. Like I say, we're there to make the tough decisions. And so the misconception is I want people to understand that we are out actually listening to our constituents, we're listening to our teachers, we listen to the families, and we listen to what the superintendent and his cabinet, his input. And so it's a lot of things that's happening behind the scenes that goes into whether you're just seeing something as a vote. And I know sometimes one meeting and one vote can shape the whole narrative of a school district. And so that's one thing we have to do. We have to continue to rebuild public trust and change the perception about educating our children.
Yeah, your colleague Tawana Murphy came on a couple weeks ago and said something that was really profound to me. It was the fact that she said you all, particularly the new faces that came on the board during that vote, always had an uphill battle, it felt like, for these last 2 years. Like you all were fighting and haven't really been seen in the way of how you are able to carry out your duties. And now that you all have had the judge rule in your favor, you get to stay in your seats and finish out your terms, do you all feel like the controversy around the former superintendent can now kind of be put to rest?
It's always going to be there. Because you have other news outlets and media, they're posting things, you know, getting readers to, they're actually educating readers on things that happened in the past. So it'll be around. But it's just the work. It's just the work. As long as we, for me, just keep students focused, keep listening to our teachers, and trying to set the vision for the district. That's part of the school board's role as well. We set the vision, balance the budget, pass the budget, and set new priorities. So one priority that I want to have is, again, to keep rebuilding trust with the public.
Okay, yeah, well said there. All right, let's get into what the school board has accomplished or prioritized up to this point. You know, let's put the vote aside. What have you all really been working on the last 2 years? And then I'll ask you, you know, what's ahead. But what's been going on up to this point?
Well, I could definitely say, you know, we have the facilities plan.
Yes.
So we have the blueprint for greatness. Anybody can go on there. They can see what's going on with our facilities. You can see how old our buildings are. Majority of our buildings are over 50 years old. So you look at the surrounding municipalities, you can see that those schools, like in Arlington, Collierville, nothing against the schools, but they have better facilities. And statistics show that if you're in an environment that's, you know, you can learn better if you have like a cleaner environment, a newer environment, more resources. Statistics shows that. So really been working on that, and I'm super proud of what the administration has been doing as far as that. Of course, we have an academic plan in place. We have 61 schools that have increased a whole letter score, grade score. So that's really good. 84.4% of our students their graduation rate has increased for consecutive years. And then we have our TVOS scores, level 5 TVOS. So there's still room for improvement, but we're making gains. And I do think that we need to highlight that a little bit more and let the public know, like, hey, there's positive things going on in Memphis-Shelby County schools.
Wonderful.
That's great. And I definitely agree. I'm really proud of the letter grades. 61 schools coming to improve their letter grades. So that's really powerful with that. And again, we just got to do a better job at marketing what the great things the district is doing.
Absolutely. And I know when you talk about the facilities plan, there's also the plan for consolidating 5 schools, I believe. We talked to some parents who are a little worried about their kids going to the same schools as more grown teenagers. Can you all address that concern at all?
Well, I can speak from a personal, let's say this, from a personal standpoint. I went to East High School, and I went there from 7th grade to 12th grade. And they kept the 7th through 9th grades. I think we were like over in a certain part of the building. So if it comes down to it where we have to consolidate, I don't want the parents to be afraid or be worried, because I think that our teachers are going to do an amazing job. They've been doing an amazing job. And no one wants to close a school, you know? We don't want to talk about that. But just to put it into perspective, let's say you have a school that can hold 1,000 students, but there's only 150 students at that school. It's costing us more money to keep that school open, not to mention all of the damages that have been done, or, you know, the repairs that we need to make to the building. So it may, at the end of the day, it may give us more money, and we can put that money into another school. so that we can help more students, bring more resources to their school versus using all that money to keep that school running, if that makes sense.
No, it does.
So we don't want to close a school. I dare not hear anyone say they're going to close my school, but you know, it happens sometimes, and we don't want to do that, but we want to make sure that our students, all of our students, will be taken care of if and when it does happen.
Most definitely. And you know, private schools do it all the time.
They do. They do.
So, you know, you got to think about that.
That is a good opportunity, a chance where if we do have to consolidate the schools in those grades, a chance for the parents to educate their children and to say, hey, not only you're maybe going to school with children younger than you, but it's a chance to be a role model as well. Right. And so we have to set that particular standard and just give our children more grace because you know we got some people that'll be probably potentially can be doing the wrong thing, but just give our children more grace and more accountability for them as well.
I love that. Yeah, most definitely. So I do want to talk about a challenge that we've reported on: chronic absenteeism. So and enrollment numbers and getting those up to where they need to be. So how are you all tackling that problem and finding students who may have challenges getting to school?
Well, it's always a challenge. We when we talk about our homelessness and just transportation issues, it's always a challenge. I do like the work that the district is currently doing about just something simple as getting on the phone, asking parents that your child has been in school in the 2 days, 3 days, and so just kind of really get into the work. So I do think the district is putting forth a great effort into addressing chronic absenteeism. But then too, as a city, we got to figure out what's the root cause of those problems because for some reason the school district has turned into a mental health facility with counseling. You know, it's a food bank, and so we're taking on all those challenges to address what is the root cause. Because our job is just to educate them. It's not even our job to wake your child up to get them to school. That's the parents' job. And so, but once they're there, they're supposed to be loved and treated with care. So it is a big challenge, and so again, I just thank the district for the work they're doing currently with that particular problem.
Absolutely, a lot of wraparound services.
A lot of wraparound services
having to deal with here. So let's talk about the current work now. So you did touch on the things that we've got that have gotten us to this point, or at least MSCS to this point. So what do you want people to know as of right this moment? What the current board is working on?
Well, I did want to mention, too, we have the attendance liaisons that are in school as well to help ensure that our students are getting in class. I just visited Mount Pisgah. I was talking to one of the liaisons there. So some of the work is attacking chronic absenteeism and ensuring that our students are in class and they are learning. And if they are not in class, why are they missing class? And so they do have those intimate conversations with those students. So I was happy to know that. And if they have any additional issues, then they're helping provide those resources and wraparound services. And like Women Report to say, we're providing a lot of services, which we don't mind doing, but it will be very helpful. We have a lot of our business owners and the organizations around to step in and ensure that our students are getting what they need, because it's going to take a community effort to continue this work.
Absolutely.
And so, I'm always excited to, provide any support. When I get around the kids, they're always super excited, but definitely focusing on that chronic absenteeism issue. And then, of course, just ensuring that our students are actually, grasping the material. Like I said, the Saturday schools, I love what the principals are doing. They're putting extra work to make sure it's done, and I just always want to make sure that I'm thanking my principals, the teachers, administrators, cafeteria workers, everybody that's cleaning the schools. It's a team effort, and we can't do it one without the other. So I think just focusing on a couple of things and perfecting those things so we can actually move our district forward. And so I'm just most excited about that, and just continue to be visible and have an open ear, because they love to see us. They love to hear like, hey, I got a nice text message this morning and I screenshotted it and sent it, and they were like, hey, Dr. Richmond is here, we have breakfast, and we're super excited. And so I say, I share the good stuff too, and they say he was there listening to things that they had concerns about and how they can better assist with their students. And those are our PLC coaches that he was talking to earlier. So just really just being receptive to our administrators and our teachers, and trying to see what it is that they need to ensure that they're getting the best out of our students.
So there's there's a person whose sole job, you mentioned absenteeism, is to make
yes,
and there's one at every school?
They're in the school. They may have one might not be every school. They may have a few schools that they're
but there's
rotating.
a position
right,
for that.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You mentioned Dr. Richmond, so I think that's a perfect segue. And you all recently appointed him, dropped the interim title, and made him superintendent. Why was that you all's decision?
Well, it was so honestly, I didn't think we was going to go into that meeting and come out with a superintendent, and so I thought we was going to be voting on the process.
Okay, I did as well.
And so, but Superintendent Richmond, he's done great work in the district. He's been in the district for over 30 years. He has, since he's been there, has done certain things that we could like to see for us being innovative in certain areas of how we want to move the district forward. And so it was a decision made, and I think it was probably time.
Okay.
You know, some will argue that we could have just waited and see more time. Me personally, I argued about, well, I talked about, I want to see the TCAP scores when they come out, you know, because it was an option to extend the contract as well.
Oh.
And so if Dr. Richmond's doing a great job now, I'm pretty sure after the TCAP scores, he'll do an even better job.
Right.
So, but again, it was a board decision. And so I think overall, once this decision was made, then I immediately got into, hey, let's continue to do the work.
Okay, right. Yeah, I want to ask a question hopefully you all can debunk, if you will. A lot of people on social media thought that this was already kind of a plan in the making, that a former person was just to maybe do some decisions, and then once that was out of the way, he was always going to come in and take the job. Is that true?
Well, I can certainly say if you watched the meeting, you can notice that was not true. At least not the case for myself as well. We were kind of on the same page. Like, hey, you got a few more months in the contract. You're doing a great job. You're bringing stability to the district. Let's go ahead and wait it out until 5 more months or 4 more months just to see what that looks like. And even so, if we could look at the scores, that'll even be better because we're based on what statistics, data. So we have something that we can actually measure by. But again, it's the biggest issue has been we've been getting a lot of feedback about there being chronic turnover even before our tenure. And so everybody was concerned about when you guys are going to get some stability, and having a actual superintendent was, us getting that first foot forward and making sure we get this district stabilized.
So is it safe to say you all's relationship with Dr. Richmond, you feel it's collaborative, it's positive, it's a healthy relationship?
Absolutely. I think so. It's all about communication. Communication is key, and I know he has his feedback, but I think so. I think if we just continue to communicate any issues that I've voiced, he's been, adhering to them. Even today with the meeting, I voiced that, and he was like, hey, somebody else told me that he was there. So I'm like, okay, great. So he's listening, and more importantly, just making sure that our teachers and our support staff and administrators are getting what they need to support our students.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
And again, it's our job to set the vision, and it's the superintendent's job to carry that vision out.
Yeah.
And so within however we vote on the contract, even for us, for the next 2 years, if we feel as though we haven't done our job, it's the voters' job to vote us out. And so at this point, everybody will be held accountable. We will hold the superintendent accountable for keeping the district moving, stabilized and moving forward now. And so that's what it would be.
Okay, I love that. So yes, you all have appointed him as superintendent, and you all are not going to be on the ballot for this election season, but 4 races will be. So, and that was just naturally because those terms were up for election or re-election, or whoever doesn't want to run again. So districts 1, 6, 8, and 9 will be on the ballot this year. So how are you all preparing to welcome or work with potentially new faces to the board?
Well, I would like to see, I reached out to any of the candidates. I see the people running to kind of look at their platform. But I think that whoever comes on the board, it's the same priority, the same expectation. We want a clear expectation of how we want to see our district move forward. We want a clear expectation on our academic plans. And so I'm looking to work with, again, whoever comes on the board in a more collaborative spirit. And let's just ready to get some things done, like you mentioned earlier with Tawana Murphy, Board Member Murphy was on. Yeah, we've been going through a lot of chaos, so to say, within this past year. So it's really time to dig in. And again, we want the constituents, we want the community to continue to hold us accountable, continue to show to the board meetings, expressing your opinions and your thoughts. But now it's really time to get to work.
Yeah, most certainly. Do you have anything to add?
I think just the same. Just work collaboratively with whomever is elected to do the work, and just have a strong onboarding process. That's really big, so they can understand what it is that they're doing. Because sometimes you can get into this role, you don't have clear expectations of what the roles are. Right. So I think just having a clear onboarding process.
Most definitely. Yeah. And those races are going to be partisan for the first time, well, at least since I've been here reporting news. But what do you all think about that? Why would school boards even be partisan? What is the point of that?
Well, some people would say, for the people who are for a partisan election, some will say, well, we want to know exactly the political ideology of the people that's sitting on the school board. Some people would say that. The other group will argue that we got to keep politics out of education. We see a lot of things that's happening at the federal level, and so sometimes those recommendations get trickled down to the state level. And so I don't really know why people want partisan, because education should be education. All of us want to see children learning how to read and grow and become productive citizens. So even for me, being affected by it on my current job, I'm a federal employee, and so it actually has an effect on whether I can run again or not within the 2 years. And so we'll make that decision when the time comes. But right now, I'm definitely focused on just continuing to better education and while I have my seat.
Okay, so just clarification for people who may not know that, there is a policy for federal workers about whether or not they can run for partisan elected positions.
Right. If you're a federal worker, you can't declare Democrat or Republican. And so that's pretty much called a Hatch Act. And so that's pretty much the rule. But and for Shelby County, this is the first time, like you indicated, it's the first time that we have partisan school board elections. But the funny thing is, there's not one Republican pool for the Shelby County School Board seats.
Right. So why are they
So
partisan?
why would we go through this in the first place to cause more chaos? And so, but again, that was the will of their body. And so we just kind of like the rules of the land right now.
You know, I used to say that I wanted to be an entertainment reporter when I got into journalism, but man, Memphis, politics and school board, it keeps me very entertained.
Right.
So speaking about politics, you all are dealing with an unprecedented time right now with a potential, what everybody's calling a state takeover or state intervention, or whichever term you want to use. So a lot of Tennessee state Republicans are pushing for this, Representative Mark White, as well as Tennessee State Senator Brent Taylor, particularly drafting that legislation. So that would appoint 9 members who are from the Shelby County area to oversee the school board. So an additional 9 to the school board members who are elected in their positions. How do you all feel about that oversight? And particularly, it seems like it has to do with oversight of the budget, which I believe is about, what, $2 billion?
$2 billion,
$2 billion, which is a lot of money we're talking about. We're talking about the largest public school district in Tennessee. Where do you all stand on that? Is it a real possibility? Could this really happen? And what does that mean for local control? Or where are you all on this topic?
For me, I always say intervention without proper investments is just interference. And so the thing is, again, we've elected to do a job. We have capable people that's currently working in the district, that's been working in the district for quite some time. They know how to do the job. And so I'm all for accountability, and I'm all for the state to helping us out. And so if it's advisory board, if that's the way to go, we definitely don't want our voting rights to be taken away.
Of course not.
But we welcome all input. And so now we have to ask ourselves the question is, the people who would be appointed by the state, who would they be accountable to? Would they be accountable to the voters, to the people? Or would they be held accountable to, like you mentioned, the legislator? So I do want to see a more collaborative effort when we're talking about that, because again, we don't shy away from accountability. Right. There are some things that all of us can learn. And I guess when we see the audit, we'll come out, we'll have more data, information from the audit. But it was a study done under former Superintendent George Ray from 2019 when we talked about business system reviews. And we was talking about how the systems were outdated during that time. So from that time now, it should have been updated.
Right, right.
And so, but again, it'll be interesting to see. We have had conversations with legislators, and so they seem we can work some things out. But again, I think it's an intervention or a takeover. We don't need it. We just need more support, more collaboration.
Yeah, most definitely.
And I'm definitely not opposed to collaboration. Board member Porter and I, we co-sponsored a resolution actually to work with county commission and other county city council and other electeds to we want to work more in a collaborative spirit. So we actually brought forth the resolution, and we was hoping that they would adopt it. And we want more intervention as far as like working with the state and giving us more funding for our students, because I don't think many people know that we get about $13,300 per student as far as funding, and the average amount of funding per pupil is $17,000 throughout U.S. Wow. So we're underfunded when it comes to that, and that takes away those resources. That takes away resources from the classroom, right? And already, I don't think people know this as well. Memphis-Shelby County schools, we have 55% what they call classified as economically disadvantaged students, or students that are in poverty. So you have to think about everything that we're dealing with in comparison to our local municipalities. You got Arlington, Bartlett, Germantown, nothing against them, but they have less than 5% of students that are in poverty that attend their schools. So of course, and they have more resources, they have better school buildings. So of course the grades are going to be a little bit better there. So just help us, give us a little more resources. We're not opposed to, getting that support, and let's come up with a plan. And again, like Board Member Porter said, we've gone to Nashville, we've talked to many of the legislators, we're reaching across the aisle, like what is it that we can do to make sure that our students are getting the best that they can get from Memphis-Shelby County Schools.
And it is about nearly 100,000 students, or am I correct on that, in total?
Yes, I think approximately 115,000.
Right.
There you go.
And
Yeah.
one thing that we forgot to mention is we're, for us funding, we're ranked 45th in the nation
Yes.
when it comes to funding our children in Tennessee.
Yes.
Wow.
And so that's something that needs to be talked
Yeah.
about as well. But collaboration, we're all for it. And if it's more about the budget and everything, so there's some questions around it. We can definitely talk about that as well. But
Right.
we're not saying we have all the ideas, and it's not our job to have the ideas. It's our job to reach out to the community and bring those resources and ideas to the superintendent so we can
Right.
carry our vision out. So I think it just need to be a better overall conversation about, hey, what's the frustration that you guys been feeling? When I say you guys, whoever the powers may be,
Right.
what's the frustration that you guys have been feeling for a while?
Yeah.
Now you have a board that's in place, along with carrying on the work that the previous board has done,
Right.
and it just move so we can move the needle forward.
Okay, yeah. I'm hearing my producers in the back. I'm going to go into a little bit of overtime. We're about probably 5 more minutes.
Oh,
but,
okay, gotcha.
There's 2 questions I have here, too. So one last question about the state intervention or takeover. Trying to get our viewers to understand exactly what's at stake here. So, what would they see in their change of their livelihood? I know the school district is kind of like an economic ecosystem for local businesses. Like, people don't always realize how many Memphis-owned businesses are working with the district, and that's part of their livelihood. So, take it down to a level of why I don't want to say losing local control, because if it is this, in fact, oversight or collaboration, then, so be it. But it seems like it would be less local control regardless of what this oversight board comes in. So help me to have our viewers understand a little bit about how bringing in state oversight might then lose local control and how that would affect them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
So I would definitely say, when I was speaking to a few legislators in Nashville, they didn't really know what was going on the local level when it comes to businesses, when it actually comes to our students. We're sitting there and we're telling them, hey, this is what's going on. These are some of the actual successes that we're actually having. And we want to make sure that we're able to keep the business within our district, right? You hear a lot of school districts, let's just say, I don't know, I'll just throw something down. If we want a paper company or somebody to provide paper, and we're getting a vendor that's all the way in California, well, why not get a local business here so we can support the businesses and keep the economy growing here locally? So it's not always about like who likes who or whatever. It's about like making sure that we're pouring into our community. You have other organizations that are coming here and building on Memphis soil, and we're like, we need for them to give our people big jobs so that we can grow the economy here. So it's the same thing with our budget and with Memphis-Shelby County Schools, and we want to make sure that we're ensuring that we're keeping that here. And when you're in Nashville, you don't really know what's going on. Like I said, there's so many things that I came up and I had my little checklist, and I was like, did you know this is happening? Did you know? Did you know? All they knew was what they saw in the newspaper, on TV. They don't know everything else that's going on. So I do think that it's very important to make sure we do maintain local control so that we're supporting those surrounding businesses in our city.
And you mentioned, you all know your students. You know what challenges they're facing every day, and you mentioned 13,000 per student, which is less than the average.
Yes.
So I said Commissioner Porter, but School Board Member Porter, what do you have to say? Is there a chance that with this oversight there would be less money taken from the district, or the budget, the fact that they would be overseeing the budget could potentially affect every single child? Is that fair to ask?
Well, I don't know if it'll be less money taken. To me, it seems like we have more people to look into our books and see, hey, what are we doing with the money and how our money is being distributed. We do have a $2 billion budget, but once you get done with fixed costs and everything, we have about $400 million that we have to operate a district with. And now that you talk about wraparound services, I think in Governor Beasley, I think he rejected some funding for summer programs, food. So we have to use money to continue to help our families out, especially during the summer when time is rough and you see a high crime rate goes up.
Right.
So what's at stake? I think that if people need to come in for the state to talk to our teachers and talk to our parents, tell them actually what an intervention or oversight will look like, and then start to identify those people if the bill passes. Because it still has to pass, it still has to make sense to people in Nashville. People still have to make their case on both sides. But that's the thing that's in stake. It was a failed experiment in Houston, by the way. And so I think that real people need to go listen to those people, because if you only listen to the people that you put in office, of course everything will sound good and sound good according to your plan. So, but it's a lot of things at stake. So it's us as school board members, we have to get out and educate our community. We have to be educated as well. But again, Commissioner Board Member Otey and I, we've always talked about collaboration.
Right.
As soon as we got elected, about collaboration, because we've seen all the mistakes that's happened in the past. I mean, personally, I'm just tired of people using our children as political footballs and kicking them down the field and using their experience. And so that's one thing that we have to stop.
Most definitely. Two lasting questions here. You mentioned the audit, and State Representative Mark White had mentioned that what we're going to see is pretty negative language around what he thinks is going to come out of, based off of preliminary findings. I think he called it disorganized mismanagement of the money. Is that something people should expect, or what can you all say? Is it going to be alarming? Is it going to be mismanagement, or is the audit going to show something else?
Well, we haven't seen any final results. Like I said, I mentioned work for the federal government. It's 2 million people that work for the federal government. So somebody somewhere is going to be screwing up. And so with the employees in the district, it's somebody's going to be doing something. But I do know the years of the audit will take place. I think they're going from 2019 to early 2024. And so we weren't even on the board then.
Right.
And so our superintendent was in this position like he's in now. So, but it'll be up to us to correct those issues. I'm all for the audit because it shows transparency.
And you all showing up today is a lot of transparency as well. Do you have any notes you want to add on?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had any knowledge of any fraud, waste, or abuse. And to my knowledge, according to our contract, if there was something that was found, we were to be notified so that we can fix it. And as board member Porter said, this stuff predates us, right? And so, but we want to make it right. Okay, and and if there's something that we need to fix, we want to fix it for our students, and we want to fix it fast. So if there's something that we need to know, we want to know about it as soon as possible so we can make it right.
Yeah, most definitely. So my last question here, you all have been such a unique school board in the sense that a lot was on your shoulders coming in my opinion. I covered education in my first market in this job, and I don't think there was ever as much attention on a school board, or whoever knew any of their school board members like Memphis-Shelby County Schools now knows there. So from everything from third grade, TCAP scores and reading levels, to the ousting of the former superintendent, to the state potential takeover, you all, and also while trying to improve student achievement at the end of the day, you all have had to take on quite a lot. And it's made for great news for me, but it's also just made for great stress, I'm sure, for you all. Right. So you all have 2 years left in your current term. I want you all to have the space to kind of talk about what you plan to do in those last 2 years.
Well, definitely, I would say most of us are probably on the same page with ensuring that we get more technology in the schools. AI is headway right now. And so really focusing on that, focusing on developing graduating students that are workforce ready. So having more workforce development opportunities in our CCTE program as well, ensuring that our students that come out, they're certified, they're ready to be able to take care of their families, or if they want to go to college, make sure that they're able to go to college. So I would say those are definitely our center focuses.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I agree with Board Member Otey. We definitely, for me, I want to focus on CCTE. And again, our students college and career ready, because so they can enter into the workforce. And also, once they enter into the workforce, there has to be jobs available for them there as well. So that's a conversation we can have with the city leaders and our business leaders as well. So, but right now I'm just focused on doing the work. We always beat up literacy. We always beat up children showing up to school. But most importantly, we have to do a better job at marketing the district, because school vouchers are out there. Charter schools are doing great. And I'm not opposed to charter schools either, but we want to put Memphis-Shelby County Schools in the right position, so families, younger families, middle class families, can say, hey, why not choose Memphis-Shelby County Schools?
Right.
And so that's the thing, but marketing the district better, so getting better outcomes for me and my constituent District 4, keep showing them the leader that they're elected. And so we can just continue, again, I keep saying this, keep doing the work and moving forward. So I am excited about the future and about what's about to come.
Yeah, and a lot of the times recruiting families to a certain county has to do a lot with what where that education
Right.
stands.
Right.
Do you all plan to run for re-election?
In 2028, absolutely.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, definitely for me.
Okay, all right. All right, well, thank you all so much. I mean, that was a lot to tackle in the, I guess, half hour that we did, but I really appreciate you all showing up. Not an easy job by any means, but not everybody can do it. So thank you for fighting the good fight, I would say.
Thank you for having us.
All right, and thank you all for watching 24 Plus. Stay with ABC24 for everything you need to know about Memphis politics, education. Just stay with ABC24. Thank you.